Okay, hi guys. We're just reviewing factoring, all types of factoring for us when it comes to trinomials. So when we factor, we said we looked at this last term, and last term was a hint, because for easy ones, we know for the front is x and x, because x times x gives us this x squared in the front that we were hoping to get. Now in the back, one numbers multiplied become 8, and hopefully you know your multiplication tables fairly well. 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Now which of these options here can then add up, and that's a hint. This is a plus, that means we're going to add up to that middle term. Which of these would add up to 6? Well, 2 and 4. So we said 2 and 4. And since it's plus plus, we know that's going to be plus plus for us. So level 1 problems are pretty easy. Thank you, Anna. So we can spot them very quickly. And that's what you want to do. We have another way of solving this quadratic formula. And that's a long way of dealing with breaking down these numbers. But if we can factor, we can do these problems in like 10 seconds. Now, questions get harder when there's an a value in the front. Because as we invite more people to the party, of course, it gets more crazy. So this problem has a 9 in the front. Now, let's go ahead and give you the answer. Let's use 9 and 1. But 9 can be made up of 3 and 3 also. So as numbers become bigger in the front, they become more possibilities. And there's more options. If you guys ever go on vacation and you go to a place like Las Vegas, there's a lot of stuff to do. Okay, maybe not for kids, but you know, for adults, there's a lot of places to eat at. There's too many options. But if you go to your grandma's house, that's it, right? There's only like one option to do. You can watch TV or not watch TV, okay? So when we end up getting a bigger number in the front, we have a lot more options. Same thing for the back. That 32 is huge. We have 1, 32, 2, 16, 4, 8, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 3 options in the 3 pairs in the front, in the back, and 2 pairs in the front. Now, can you think of an option that we said subtract out now to become 28? Now, we're going to be multiplying numbers in the front and back. And this could be a little bit of work. Now, the way I do this, especially since if I don't see it automatically, right? If I'm looking at the possibilities and I don't see it automatically, I'm just going to go in order. Have you guys ever been asked to do a task where it says write down all the possibilities? And they'll say, here are your numbers, or here's the letter A, B, and C, and write down all the possibilities for this. So you go A, B, C, right? And then what's the next thing? What's the next possibility? You'll probably say A, C, B. See how we flip just the back numbers? And then the next possibility, we'll say, hey, let's let B be in front now. B, then A, C. And then we'll try B, and then you flip it and say C, A. So you end up trying all the possibilities, C, and then A, B, and then C, then B, A. If you just randomly started guessing it and just writing whatever order, you lose track of which ones you've done and which ones you haven't done yet. So the way I like doing these is if I really have no clue, I'm going to go in order. Meaning I'm going to start with 9 and 1. I'm going to start trying 9 and 1 with all these possibilities here. So we can try it. 9 times 1 is 9, but 1 times 32, right? Remember how we start speed dating? We take a turn at each. 9 times 1 is 9, and 1 times 32 is 32. And that does not subtract out to become 28. This would be like 23. Okay, that didn't work. Should I try 9 times 32? Not even close. Forget it. That's way too big. Wasting my time. 9 times 2, let's try the next pair, and 1 times 16. Well, that's 18 and 16, right? 9 times 2 is 18, and 1 times 16 is 1 times 16 is 16, and they don't subtract out to become 28. So we know that doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure 9 times 16, which is over 100, is not going to work. So let's try 9 times 4 and 1 times 8. 9 times 4 is 36, and 1 times 8 is 8. Does 36 minus 8 become 28? Does it? 36 minus 8, does that become 28? It does, right? 36 minus 8. Remember, this is 36 minus 8 is 28. That is true. But the trick now is figure out which sign works. We need more negatives to win. Okay, we need more negatives to win. So we want it to be negative 36 and positive 28. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that idea. We need a negative 36 and a positive 8 now. So I'm going to write it up here. I need a negative 36 and a positive 8 because that does give me the 28 we wanted. That set up the problem. We said for sure that 9 and 1 and 4 and 8 work. I write 9 times x and x in the back, right? Because 9 times x, no, 9x and x become 9x squared. Now, I draw my little frog face here, if you guys remember what that looks like. That reminds me, the number I multiply by 9 goes in the back. So 9 times 4 gives me my 36. And if 4 is in the back, then 8 is in the front. Okay, so we were able to come up with the numbers. I want to make sure this works for you. The outer 9 times 4 is 36, and 8 times 1 is 8x. Now, who do we want to win? We need more negatives, right? We need more negatives here. So we're going to give the 36. The 36 has to be a negative. That means the 4 has to be a negative. 4 is going to give that 9 a negative. And the 8 is going to be positive because we want them to cancel out. And just to double check, isn't a positive 8 times a negative 4 a negative 32 that we were hoping for? A positive and negative give us a negative. Now, if we make a mistake, and what if we put plus plus? Would that positive 8 times positive 4 give me that negative 32? No, it wouldn't. So there's other ways of learning this. There's something called Xbox and a lot of different strategies. But I like teaching it in this way where we just try to figure out numbers that work in an orderly manner. Because if I can teach it to you this way, your brain will start making the game up itself. And once you see a problem like this, you'll start trying numbers automatically to see which combination works. Okay, so let's try another problem. Now, this problem here is 10x squared plus 49x plus 18. As you can see, the number in the front is not just a simple prime number, but there's more than one possibility for it. So let's write down all the possibilities we can as we lay out all our playing pieces. So on the left side, I see 1 and 10. And what else can I make 10? 2 times 5. On the right, 18 is kind of big. So 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. Now the cool thing is that we're going to add, adding is usually easier in our brains, to become 49. So which of our dates, when we go combine them, will become 49? So you can start speed dating yourself. Figure out if I take a 1 and I multiply it across. I'm going to give you a hint, it's going to be 5 and 2. Okay, 5 and 2 is going to be it, because I have the answer sheet over here, right? So if you can think of a number, 2 times what over here and 5 times its partner would add up to become 49. I'm going to start speed dating and write down all the possibilities. You can do this a lot faster in your head than I can write it. So 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 5 is way too big. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 18 is 36. That is not big enough to end up with 49. Okay, next row. 2 times 2, you got it. 2 times 2 is 4. And 5 times 9 is 45. Hey, 4 and 45 do add up to become 49, right? 2 times 2, 2 times 2, then 5 has to date the 9. That gives us our 45. Perfect, we're all set up. So I'm gonna write 2x in the front and 5x in the front, and in the back. Now, to remind myself, I didn't multiply the 2x by the same family, right? It has to multiply all the way to the other side. So who do we multiply 2x by? We said the 2 times 2 gave me the 4 we wanted. And if that's 4, this other one's 9. You can double check that if it's positive, we can see that's a plus plus for us. So positive 49x plus 2 times 2 is 4x. That does give us our 45. X plus our 4x does give us the 49 we wanted. Okay, that's it. Sometimes we luck out. Sometimes we have to go through every single possibility. That's fine. Okay. And why are these harder? Because there's more possibilities, right? If you go to Disneyland, there's so many things to do there. But if you go to your local carnival at your park near your house, there's not as many things to do. Just the bigger the problem, the more possibilities. And that's kind of something that we have to end up with at life. Again, if you go to Disneyland versus going to your grandma's house, a lot more stuff to do at Disneyland. So you got to plan out a little bit more. Okay, let's do this one more time. So if you guys kind of get the idea already, go ahead and start the IXL. If you have not started the IXL, and if you are done with the IXL and you reach that 90, you can go ahead and start the My Open Math and do the speed run. Okay. So if you're in the corner that doesn't quite get this yet, let's go ahead and do some more of these problems. And again, I'll show you the method I like teaching by just writing down all the possibilities. If we write down all the possibilities, our brains are eventually going to start realizing the pattern, and we're going to be able to do this without having to write down the possibilities anymore, because we can just come up with the possibilities ourselves. Like, we can match them quickly. Okay, let's do 10x squared plus 19x minus 56. Okay. Now the problem is this 56 here is kind of a big number, and there's might be some possibility we might not have remembered all the multiples to become 56. So I'm going to just write it out. On the left side, let's do the 10, 1 and 10, and 2 and 5. These are my possibilities for 10. And 56 is 1 and 56. I know I can for sure divide by 2. 2 goes into 56 28 times. Hey, 28, I can take another 2 from it. So 4 and 14. I can take another 2, and we can say 8 and 7. So what I'm doing to come up with my new numbers, I'm just stealing numbers from the right side to make my small number larger. Now, which of these possibilities now would work? And that's going to be the tricky part. We have to be, I guess, thorough enough that we don't mix up or skip, because we might have missed one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, we'll try the 2 and the 5. Okay, so on the right side, I'm going to just write the possibility. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 56 is way too big. I'm not going to bother. If I flip it, 2 times 56 is 112, which is too big, right? I shouldn't even have done that. So this guy is not going to work. Let's try the next one. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 28 is way too big. We're trying to subtract out to be 19, and that's going to be way too big. If I say 2 times 28 is 56, 5 times 2 is 10. Nope, they don't subtract out to become 19. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 14 is 70. Nope, that's way too big. 2 times 14 is 28. And 5 times 4 is 20. Nope, those don't subtract out to become 19. 2 times 8 is 16, and 5 times 7 is 35. And take a look here. This one isn't as obvious, but yes, 35 canceled out with 16 does give you 19. 2x, 5x, and we multiplied what? 2 by what? We said we multiplied 2 by 8, and the other one has to be 7. We need more positives to win, so I may step on my signs here. We need more positives to win and negatives to lose. So if I want more positives to win, 35 has to be positive and 16 has to be negative. I'm just taking this one step at a time. Once I find the set, I have all the positions. 2x, 5x. We said we matched up the 2x with the 8, and then 5 with the 7. Now remember, we have to have positive 19 to win. And because it's a negative, we need a plus and a minus here. So we need more positives. So that's why I'm writing 7, giving 7 the positive, because that's 35. And I'm giving you a 2 for the 8, because that gives me a negative 16.